Your inner child holds the key to your awakening. Why am I saying this? It's because when we are experiencing trauma in our childhood, we have tendencies to disconnect from our true essence. We disconnect from our light and from our authentic self. Why is that happening? The reason why is that happening is that during traumatic experiences, now Dr. Gabo talks about big T traumas and little t traumas, regardless what trauma it is, big T or little t or combination of both. The child has no other option but to brand themselves as fundamentally wrong. They really truly believe that there is something bad about them, and that something bad is the light that they're holding, that something bad is their authentic self. Because to survive, a child does not have any other option but to hide their light, to hide their authenticity, because they can't possibly bear the truth that the caregivers that they depend on to survive are bad. So instead, they are branding themselves as bad because it's much more bearable for them. And for survival, imagine if a child is surrounded by people who are providing shelter, food, and water. Child can't possibly have the luxury to think of them as bad, even if those people are the ones who are traumatizing the child. So the child hides their light literally in subconscious, in the basement. So that is the reason why our inner child holds the key to our awakening, to our light. Because you see, that light is divine light, it's source consciousness itself. So once we start doing our inner child work, once we start going deep into our subconscious, we are presented with a challenge, really, with fear. And that fear is asking us to abandon all the illusions that we have adopted in our childhood and to embrace our light. And that's incredibly challenging for any person who has experienced childhood trauma PTSD. Now, as you can see, if you have been hiding your light, your authentic self for decades, suddenly to have the opportunity to see that light, to see yourself for who you truly are, can be really, really scary. And I don't think our current health system is appreciating how challenging, fearful it can be for a person to see and embrace their light. First of all, they feel guilty that they've been hiding that light for decades. And second, they might be wondering, am I going to recognize that light? Am I going to recognize myself? And if I do see it, am I going to like it? So there's lots of fear involved in that one. That's why many people, one of the reasons why many people would rather stay with illusions, even if those illusions are incredibly unhealthy. For example, negative beliefs about self. I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable. I'm not deserving love, prosperity, success. I don't deserve even healing because I'm that bad. There is a deep shame right there. So they'll rather stick with those beliefs then see themselves for who they truly are. It's not because they don't want to see themselves for who they truly are, but because they haven't seen that light for decades. It's like there's so many stories about people who have been imprisoned for decades, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, 50. And when they come out, they don't know what to do with their life. They are completely lost. They would rather go back into that prison. So we have created, during those traumatic experiences in our childhood, we have created prison that we are in. Prison that's small, it's claustrophobic. It's not on our side. It's belittling us, abusing us, telling us that somehow we are wrong, we are not good enough, our life doesn't matter. But we are staying in that prison because we don't know what's out there. And many people are fearful to step out for those reasons, because of the shame, because of the guilt, because of not even knowing. Many people don't even know that the life they are living is not authentic to them. So once we start inner child work, which I think is incredibly important, we start rediscovering a light. As we start rediscovering our inner child, we start rediscovering light, because that inner child within us holds the light. That inner child within us holds the key to our awakening, because they hold the light. And awakening starts with light, starts with us realizing that the life that we are living is false. And that light that inner child has is showing us clearly that that light is who we truly are. So our inner child holds the key to our awakening through that light that we have buried deep within our subconscious. We have buried literally our inner child in a basement, in subconscious, in a box somewhere, to be found later on. For safekeeping though. But now that we are grown-up people, it is our responsibility to find that inner child and to liberate them from the dungeon that we have put them in when we were just children. So there is no judgment, there is no guilt or shame, just deep, radical self-forgiveness and compassion for ourselves and for that inner child. So when we go in to meet our inner child and to save them and liberate them so we can be saved, we go in with love, with softness, with compassion. We start reparenting, and we start creating safe space within us, like a safe nest, where that inner child will be able to surrender, to let go, and to show us who we truly are. And that light that the inner child has brought into this planet, into this world, is divine light that's full of gifts that we can give to ourselves and that we can give to humanity. So I'm going to say again, as I said in few of my previous video and lives, it's important for you to find your light and to share your beautiful gifts with yourself and with the humanity. Thank you very much. Namaste.